In our last video, we explored how everyday investors are beginning to tap into the once exclusive world of offshore banking and tax residency. We broke down how it's no longer a game reserved for the ultra-wealthy, and how the working class can begin to think internationally about their finances. Understanding trusts, the smartest legal tool of the wealthy. Now we're going deeper into one of the most misunderstood, but most powerful tools of wealth protection and legacy building: trusts. What is a trust? A trust is a legal structure that allows a person, the settlor, to transfer assets to a trustee, who manages those assets on behalf of a beneficiary. It's not owned by you, it's owned by the trust, which gives it serious power for protection, privacy, and generational planning. Types of trusts and what they protect. Revocable living trust use allows you to retain control during your lifetime and avoid probate after death. Best for estate planning, avoiding probate, and maintaining flexibility. Control. You're the trustee until death or incapacity. Cost. Setup can range from $1,000 to $3,000 depending on jurisdiction and complexity. Irrevocable trust use. Once created, it cannot be changed. Used to shield assets from lawsuits, estate taxes, and creditors. Best for high net worth individuals, or those worried about liability or long-term estate taxes. Control. You relinquish control. A third-party trustee takes over. Cost. Typically starts at $5,000 and up depending on asset value and structuring. Discretionary trust use. Trustees decide how income or capital is distributed to beneficiaries. Best for asset protection and tax planning across generations. Jurisdiction. Popular in offshore zones like Jersey, Guernsey, and the Cayman Islands. Cost. Setup starts at $7,000, with annual admin fees. Dynasty trust use. Created to last for multiple generations, up to 1,000 years in some U.S. states. Protects family wealth from estate taxes for generations. Best in South Dakota and Nevada, favorable U.S. laws. Management. Corporate trustees or law firms often manage these. Cost. Set up from $10,000 upward, plus yearly maintenance. Asset Protection Trust, APT, use. Shields assets from lawsuits, creditors, and divorce. Jurisdictions. Best offshore in the Cook Islands or Nevis. Keynote. These are self-settled trusts. You can be the beneficiary too. Cost. Starting around $15,000. These are serious structures. Where should you set up a trust? Here are a few of the most popular jurisdictions based on privacy, legal strength, and tax benefits. South Dakota, USA, ironclad asset protection, no state taxes on trusts, dynasty options. Cook Islands, top tier for international asset protection trusts. Jersey and Guernsey, long trusted by Europeans for discretionary and family trusts. Switzerland and Liechtenstein, famous for banking, but also for ultra-secure trust frameworks. Dubai, UAE, newer to the scene, but popular for Muslim families with Sharia-compliant trust options. No personal income or capital gains tax. How trusts are passed down. Trusts don't get inherited. They continue. A trustee manages the trust based on your instructions laid out in the trust deed. You can appoint successor trustees and update the beneficiaries over time, if revocable or within a letter of wishes. A properly structured trust never dies, which is why they're often called intergenerational wealth vehicles. Who manages the trust? You can appoint a professional trustee, corporate or legal firm. A trusted family member, common with revocable living trusts. Or use a protector role, someone who oversees the trustee and has veto power. What are the annual costs? Expect revocable, minimal annual costs unless using a professional service. Irrevocable, offshore, between $1,000 to $20,000 annually, depending on the assets, trustee, and country. Why you should care, even without millions. The misconception is that only the ultra-wealthy use trusts. But here's the truth. If you own property, have children, and want to leave something behind, you're already a candidate. A trust is about control, not just wealth. You control how your legacy is used, protected, and grown, even after you're gone. Whether you're protecting your family's home, a small business, or investments, a trust gives you legal muscle to keep it safe from taxes, lawsuits, or even poor decisions by future heirs. What's next? In our next video, we'll move from asset protection to how to build and invest under your trust structure, including how to open a bank account, buy property, and hold business equity through your trust entity. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to Rich Layer on YouTube, and follow us on Instagram for even more sharp finance moves made simple.